Today, we're checking out the Lego Star Wars 2020 Sith-Troopers Battle Pack. As mentioned before, today we are checking out the Lego Star Wars Sith-Troopers Battle Pack. Here it is. Taking a look at the front of the box, you can see that we get one Sith Trooper, two Sith Jetpack Troopers, and a really cool Sith Eternal Officer, along with this kind of little speeder build, and that kind of looks like the First Order Snow Speeder, but just kind of miniaturized, and in my opinion, a cooler color scheme. Around the back you can see some of the features, which actually the only feature is that you can use the spring-loaded shooters, and we get all of our figures and the speeder in a nice little display. Now let's get it open. To get into the box we get yet another thumb tab, and to use that you just stick your thumb in and pull out. I like to try to kind of preserve my boxes because it kind of sucks when the art is cool and you just kind of rip it apart. So inside we'll find a big bag of parts. Looks like that comes with most of our figures, if not all of them. A cool plate. We get a little bag of parts. And wow, just the instruction book left. So let's get on to the build. Now that we're finished with that quick little build, we can take a look at the little model as a whole. Now, the speeder build is surprisingly good, and I really like this, and it's very good for a battle pack. You can fit all of your figures on it, as you can see, and you can even store the extra gun from the pilot in there in the passenger seat, and you can also put any of the figures in the passenger seat, and that's really what it's meant for. But that said, let's get into the review. Starting off the review with our little speeder build here, it looks very nice and looks a lot like the First Order Snow Speeder. However, this is, I believe, a new vehicle, and it is for the Sith Eternal, so it kind of has that blue color scheme, and it looks very, very nice. You can see our engines have kind of this blue glow to them, or a suggestion of a blue glow, and that I would assume is to show kind of the thrust of the engines. And you can see that we have some little vents, as well as a gray stripe that actually carries on into the interior and provides us with a little center console. I really like that, and it kind of makes the build a little more complicated and just look a little cooler overall. We have our little control for the whole thing, and I would assume that that works much like a outboard motor or a rudder on an actual boat in like Earth world, and that I would assume is the same kind of control system for this little skiff of a speeder. Now you'll notice that the backrest is very far back, and that is because if you take a jet trooper and plop him in there, you can see that that actually makes a little space for his jetpack, and then you can fit whatever figure you want in there without worrying about their back accessories. We also get a little windshield and a passenger seat, as well as this area where you can put more figures in the front or even cargo. And we also have this little hole piece where you can take one of the little rifles included and stick it in there, and then you can have a little turret on the front of your little speeder, and that can actually shoot just like any other stud shooter. And I'm gonna put my hand here so it doesn't get lost forever, although it probably will bounce into oblivion. And you just push this little gray button right there and it shoots. Now usually if you don't have your hand there, it'll just go away and you'll never find it again, and it's kind of funny but really aggravating. Now other than that, this is a very cool speeder, and I really like the build of it. Now let's go take a look at our figures. Starting off with our Sith Eternal Officer. Now, none of these characters have names, but in universe he is a Sith Eternal Officer, so he has the signature black uniform with the red lines. Looks really cool, and we also have the little Sith Eternal logo on his hat. It's super small, but the print is very nice, and you can see all of the little details in his suit on the print. You can see that he has a pretty standard face. Kind of looks like a clone, but it's not the traditional angry clone. He's just kind of straight-faced. Now the back, you can see more of his suit, and that'll do it for that figure. All of them come with a stud shooter, although the officer is the only one with a special stud shooter with kind of a little hose piece at the back, and it just looks nice and gives it a little stock to an otherwise normal stud shooter. Now, this stud shooter is for this jet trooper, and I'll just move it out of the way. Moving on to our Sith trooper, he basically looks the same as a First Order stormtrooper, although he is completely red, and there are a few little line prints here and there just to show that he is different. And I really like this red stormtrooper, and he just looks awesome. The face printing, or the helmet printing, is very nice. And the whole front printing, as well as the legs, which all three of these red guys have, are just, they look really nice. And the torso printing is very nice as well. The back printing is really good looking. And underneath that helmet, we have an angry clone. So if we move that guy out of the way, we can take a better look at our jet troopers. Now, both of them are identical, so I am just going to showcase one. And his helmet is absolutely awesome. I really like his helmet mold, and it just looks fantastic. Now, his torso print is also very good, again, the same as the other jet trooper, and his leg print is very good, the same as all of the troopers. Now, his back actually has a jetpack on it, and I believe that's a new jetpack piece. If I'm wrong, well, please correct me in the comments below. But I believe that is new, and it looks very nice. You can see actually on the bottom, we actually have some little outlets, holes, and this little jetpack piece is very detailed and surprisingly nice. Now the little print, yes, print on the back of that actually shows that he is a jet trooper, and I believe the little yellow lines sticking out of the little yellow dot in the middle is supposed to look like the thrust coming out of a little jetpack, and I think it's pretty cool that they've given us an actual print for that piece, and it makes sense when you think about the fact that it's part of a figure. Now that we're done with our figures, let's go on to the overview. Overall, I think this is a great little kit. You get 3 Sith Troopers, 2 of which are Jet Troopers, and you get a Sith Eternal Officer, as well as this really cool little speeder build. Now for $15, I think that that is a pretty good deal, and if you want to get yourself one of these, you can check out the link in the description below. Gets you a great price, and it helps out the channel. Now, that said, be sure to like, subscribe, click that bell so you never miss a video, and check out this playlist, which is our Star Wars playlist, as well as this video, which is the video that YouTube recommends for you. So, I'll see you next time on Luclear Fusion.